Dear students, welcome back to my class. Today we are starting with the sixth chapter, and that is community ecology. Let's move to the detail. What is meant by biotic community? A biotic community is an assemblage of different species, right? So it is also known as ecological community or biosynosis or biocenose. It is a group of coexisting and interacting populations of a given area or habitat of the biosphere. Here you can see that this is an community. Here you can see trees are there, grasses are there, small plants are there, then a deer is there, then a fox is there, a mice is there, butterflies are there. So all these organisms undergoes a coexisting and mutual interaction for making a stable community. This is called a biotic community. The group of, and we can also define that it is a group of mutually supporting natural population which is living together in the same habitat by mutual tolerance, beneficial interaction, and constant utilization of energy. They utilizes all the energy which is available in this ecosystem in a much more equitable manner by means of mutual tolerance and also by means of beneficial interactions. Okay, for example, the case of forest community, you can see different kinds of organisms like grass, herbs, shrubs, and trees and animals. So all this includes the biotic component of an ecosystem. So we can also say that a community is a biotic component of an ecosystem. As they are experiencing or they are having the mutual, they are tolerating the mutual tolerance as well as the beneficial interaction, it generally causes the equilibrium of a community. As they are making this equilibrium of this community by means of this interaction, each organism in the community are having an important role for modifying and controlling the biotic community. Okay, I hope you understood. Let's move to the detail of the community. Community generally classified into two different types, a major community and a minor community. In the case of major community, it possesses sufficient size and complete organization as per the title of major, and it requires or it depends solar energy for making its daily requirements as well as energy. For example, forest, grassland, and desert. While the case of minor community, compared to major community, it is very small in size and lesser in organization and depends upon major community for their energy requirements. Okay, and example for minor community is the intestinal flora, which is found in a mammalian industry. Clear? So the former one is larger and the later one is smaller. Then what are the characters of a biotic community? As I told you that a biotic community involves the interdependent interaction and interrelationship between organisms in a biotic community. It generally determines the energy flow in an ecosystem. As they are undergoing different kinds of interaction, the main forces of interactions are mutualism, competitions, predations, and parasitism. And as I told you in the population ecology, a population is always making some dynamism, or it is not equilibrium. Just like that, here also community is always in a state of dynamism. The structural as well as the functional property of a community is always changing because it is replaceable by time as well as space. Then each community is habitat specific, which means if you are considering an oceanic community, those organisms which is present in the ocean that you cannot be seen in a terrestrial habitat or terrestrial ecosystem or terrestrial community. So all the communities are habitat specific. Then what are the main characteristic features of a population a community? The first one is species diversity. Diversity refers to the heterogeneity or variability of a constant species of a community. Right? Here you can see that this is a community. You can see rabbit, spiders, dog, then cockroach, then flower, then all these things. All these things constitute a community. Okay, if there is a higher number of these organisms of different species, there will be a higher species diversity. So the higher number of rare and unrelated species in a community indicates its highest species diversity. And this highest species diversity is very significant in the sense that when a particular species is getting eliminated from this community, it will not alter the equilibrium of this community, right? If you are considering this particular community, if you are eliminating the rabbit itself, it does not alter the community. Okay, so among biologically controlled system as well as the physically controlled system, diversity is varying. The former one, the diversity will be very high, while the later one, it is very low. And this species diversity generally depends upon two factors. What are they? Species richness and species evenness. Species richness means the variability, the number of different species which is present in a community constitute the species richness. And species evenness means the equitability, how these different species are uniformly distributed in the community, that is constituted the species evenness. So this together forms a species diversity. Okay. Then comes the species stratification. Strata means layer. So species stratification refers to the vertical layering of organisms or environmental conditions within a biotic community, or it is a spatial distribution of organisms in vertical or horizontal plane. Here you can see that there are two different planes are there, vertical and horizontal. In vertical as well as the horizontal plane, when the organisms are distributed, it is called a species stratification. Okay, this is an example, vertical layering. Here the organisms are generally distributed vertically. In the case of horizontal, this is an oceanic zone or ocean. Here you can see all the organisms are generally classified on the basis of horizontal plane. Okay, so this is also called as zonation, segregation as well as distribution, right? So let's move to the detail. Compared to this horizontal stratification, this vertical stratification is much more significant because it avoids or minimizes the undesirable competition. This is important. It will minimize undesirable competition between different organisms which is sharing the same resources. Here you can see that all these plants, they are vertically arranged. They are generally utilizing the same resources. They are inhabiting this particular area, they are sharing the same resources. So same resources, even though they are sharing the same resources, their competition is very much reduced because they are distributed differently. Okay. The examples of the vertical layering of organism includes a grassland community and freshwater community. Okay, in a grassland community, you can see a herbaceous layer where herbs are there. You can see only herbs, and the floor layer where you can see only the grass and soil, grass, soil, and the stem is fixed on this floor layer, and root layer you can see only the root of the plant. So this is a layering of a grassland community. In the case of a freshwater community, just like in ponds and lakes, you can define or you can differentiate this ponds and lakes into different zone on the availability of the light penetrance. Euphotic zone will penetrate high light, bright light, and dysphotic zone will receive light, but compared to the euphotic zone, it will be less, and aphotic zone, here there will be no light. Okay, so this is called the stratification. Then comes succession. What is meant by succession? You may be knowing that succession is the appearance and disappearance of biotic community in a particular area or habitat in a regular succession manner. As this succession is in a time-consuming process, it is very slow, steady, and continuous. And every community gets first established in an uninhabited area, become unfavorable, then it gets replaced by other preceding communities until a stable community is getting established. Which means, you please consider this diagram. Here you can see that this is an example of a succession. Initially there is no plants, but as the time proceeds, the different kinds of plants are formed, and later what happened, the trees, larger trees are developed in this nude area. So this regular appearance and disappearance of these organisms are called what? Succession. And this succession generally taking place by means of 5 different stages. Nudation. Nudation means the formation of a nude area. Okay. Then invasion means the establishment of the first community. First individual will come to act or come to force or come to accommodate that nude area. Then comes the competition between the accommodated species or organisms. Then the coaction means the interaction between all these individuals. Then those organisms which is better to live in that particular environment will be established there. That is called the establishment. The first community which is established there is called the pioneer community. And the succeeding communities after first community is called the intermediate community. They are called the serial communities, and the finalized stable community is called the climax community. Okay, so whenever first community is established, after some time it will be unfavorable to that environment, so it will be eliminated and the other community will come. Then in the second time, the second community will eliminated and the third community will come to action. In the fourth stage, the third community will be eliminated and the fourth community will be established. Just like that, it will continue as the finalized climax community is established. Then there are different types of successions are there. They are called a primary succession and secondary succession. If the succession is taking place in a previously uninhabited area, those area which is not inhabited by any organism is called uninhabited. That is called a primary succession. The quite opposite condition is a secondary succession. Means the succession is taking place in a previously inhabited area. Okay. Then based upon the habitat, there are different types of successions are there. Hydrosphere, xerosphere, halosphere and mesosphere. Then fluctuations. We know that just like in the previous class I have told you that population is always in a state of dynamism, right? They are not moving in an equilibrium state. Here also the community is always in a state of fluctuations. Once a population reaches into an equilibrium state, or we can say that when it reaches into a state of carrying capacity, its density as well as the size tend to fluctuate above or below the carrying capacity. And this fluctuation generally occurs either seasonally or annually. If it occurs in the seasonal time by means of the reproductive period, which is restricted to a particular area of an organism, it is called as seasonal fluctuations. And annual fluctuation occurs, it is not seasonal, but it generally occurs by means of the annual changes in the or the yearly wise changes in the environment. And the major reason behind this fluctuation is that the intra-population interaction as well as the interrelationship between closely related species. Here you can see that in this diagram, this is the graphical representation of a population fluctuation. So let's move to the detail. Generally, fluctuations are classified into two different types: regular or cyclic fluctuations and irregular fluctuations. In the case or non-cyclic fluctuation. In the case of regular cyclic fluctuation, you can see that the population will be having a cyclic oscillation. It will be having a regular up and a down process. This is up and down. And up and down movement of this fluctuation or the movement of this population is called a cyclic or irregular fluctuations. For example, the movement of lemmings in Himalayas. While the case of irregular fluctuation, here the population will move in an irregular pattern, just like this. Okay, it generally moves in smooth, but in sometimes it will be very low and sometimes it will be very high. Okay, the perfect example is the movement of locusts. It's a migratory insect. Then comes the last one, that is ecotone and edge effect. Ecotone means it is a transition zone between two different overlapping communities. This is also called an intermediate zone or tension zone because the competition is very severe in this particular area. Here you can see that this is an estuary. Here you can say that this is an ocean, this is a river. The region between these adjacent communities is called the ecotone. Okay, so what is the peculiarity of this ecotone is that it will be a tension zone because both the organisms which is present in this ocean as well as the rivers are utilizing the same resource here. Okay, so that is why it is called a tension zone. Clear? Then the example is riverbank to estuaries, etc. Then associated with the ecotone, you can say another term that is called edge effect. In this ecotone or in this transition zone, we can see different kinds of organism. That is, those organisms which is adapted to live in both ocean as well as the river are abundantly seen in this particular region. This phenomenon is called edge effect. And this is carried by two sets of population of adjacent community. And those species which is present in much more abundant, that species is called edge species. Here you can see that in this diagram, this is two communities. This is a community A and this is a community B. These two communities when overlaps, there forms another region. This is called ecotone. Okay, these are the different species which is found in this ecotone. This is called the edge effect. And in this particular zone, we can see a particular species is much more abundant as it is adapted to live in this particular habitat. That is called a edge species. I hope you understand.